and you need to unmute
I
yourself.
know, I was trying. My
There we
mouse
go.
was not cooperating.
Great.
So good Monday morning, everybody. Welcome to our Monday morning miracle call. But just remember, it's not a miracle. It seems like it, but it's science. We are here, we gather here to share our stories and the wonderful things that seem so miraculous, because without this technology, they were impossible. And we just have so much fun. I do want to remind you before we get started. Oh, first of all, I'm Karen O'Neill. Hello, everybody. I'm your hostess today, and Michelle Neal is your hostess when I'm not here. Most of the time, it's either one or the other of us. We love coming here and doing this. I want to remind you as we get started that we do not claim to diagnose, treat, or cure any named illnesses. We just use this beautiful, wonderful light therapy, and we let our bodies get to a better place than they've been for years and years and years. And I can tell you, being in my 70s, I can tell you, I think I look better than I did even in my 40s and 50s. And I definitely feel better, way, way better. So that's pretty cool. I see hands are already going up. Please do that. And make sure when you're telling your story, tell us how you were without naming any diseases, what you used, and how you are now. Make it short, sweet, simple, but try to get in all the important, crucial details. Good luck with that. All right, let's start with Ernestine.
Oh, wow, here I am. Let me put my face up there.
Oh,
Hello,
thank you,
good
Ernestine.
morning.
Hi, beautiful.
Hi. I have a question and a story.
Okay.
Friday, I was with the woman who I've been giving information to for some months. And when I saw her, she had pains in her knees, in her heels. So I gave her an ice wave to put on. And almost immediately she got relief. And I left her very happy, walking around. So in about 3 hours, she texted me and said that her heels were throbbing and the pain was back. And it never went completely away. So I advised her to take off the patches, and she did. Put them on again on Saturday, and she still hasn't found any relief like she did when she first put them on. So my question is, what can I do now to help her?
I don't really have the answer. I'm going to open it up to the community in a second, but I do want to say that there are some discomforts. There's probably 5 to 7% that the patches don't relieve immediately. I would try different areas, maybe try different places on her. But overall, I would talk to her about the long-term effects of your body taking time to get back to a more healthy state, and just using the X39 over time, and watching the magic, the scientific magic, and the miracles that will occur as she does that, if you can't get any instant relief. And just remind her, not everybody does get instant relief. So that's kind of what I would say, but who else has something they can add?
Karen, I'll chime in on that.
Thank you.
Ernestine, good morning.
Yes.
Nice to see you. And, what came to my mind is maybe when she put the ice wave on, she got some immediate relief and inflammation decreased, circulation increased. And then in the circulation, the body's going in there to fix the problem. And that can be uncomfortable when our body is fixing the problem. And so, I'd suggest, in addition to the ice wave, as Karen said, I think X39 is going to be really important. You might try stacking, you might try the Eon, might give her some additional relief. But, she's definitely got a healing problem opportunity going on there. I think that's my intuition. I don't know if anybody else wants to chime in on that. That's a great.
That's great. I can totally relate to that.
Yes, and I did speak with her this morning and invited her to get on the call, but she wasn't able to. And I did tell her some of what you said, Gregory, not as eloquently as you did, but I did tell her that she has some inflammation in her body, and her body is actually just healing. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
So, and you can send her the replay of this when it comes out. Just forward the YouTube to her, okay? And
Yes,
she'll
yes,
hear us giving the advice herself. Cool.
yes.
Is
Great.
that it, Ernestine?
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Ernestine,
I'm
That
done.
was wonderful. Thank you. And thank you for your question. It was a great question. Questions help us too. So awesome. And let's go to Emily and then Anne. And
Before
thank
that,
you guys.
Robin had one comment she wanted to make.
Oh, thank you,
in addition
Robin.
For Ernestine.
Yeah. David did a wonderful LifeWave Connect on pain management. There's actually 4 patches that help. And so you might want to refer to that and watch that, Ernestine, and then share it with her, because sometimes it takes more than ice wave. Okay.
Perfect.
Great. Thank you, Robin. I should have known she had something to say. That's why she came in. Okay. So go ahead, Emily.
Well, hi, I have an exciting testimonial about myself that I just found out some information last night. I have osteoporosis. I've had it for a long time. And last fall, I went to a new doctor. He's an MD with a specialty in homeopathy and nutrition. So he gave me a few things, and he took some blood tests rather than sending me for a scan. He took blood tests for bone biomarkers. And so then he wanted me to be retested. And so I was recently. And so he did give me a couple of supplements. One was vitamin K2 as MK7, supposed to be very good for bones. So in October, I started that. And in November, I started with the X49. I've been using the X39 for 2 years. And as soon as the X49 came out, I started that. And so last night he sent me the results of my recent blood test. And
Emily, I'm going to stop you for just a second. Just make sure you don't name that diagnosis again, okay?
I'm sorry. That's
Talk about.
Oh my
You can
gosh.
talk about that. Well, that we all do it. We all do it. You
Oh
can talk
man.
about the symptoms, okay? I
Yes.
was just afraid you might
Okay.
be getting.
So I need to build my bone. So here's what he said. Let's see. Oh my. I'm not getting it. Anyway, so he said, here are your new lab results. Let's see, all of your bone biomarkers are improved. You are now losing less bone and gaining more bone. And he said they were near perfect. So that's what they were.
Wow.
Near perfect.
Woohoo. That is awesome.
So, yes. So I think the X49 must have something to do with that. So I have a question though. I understand the last I heard, there was a study on bone growth with the X39, but it wasn't finished yet. And it was looking good is what I heard David said. And so my question is that complete now? Is there some resources that I can send this doctor?
I haven't heard anything on it being completed yet. They'll probably, if it has been, they would probably talk to us about it in conference. Don't you think, Gregory?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I keep hearing bone growth mentioned as a benefit of that. So
yeah, they've gotten some good results so far. And he even has a placement on your outer right leg. You remember where that is? Yeah,
stomach
that helps
36.
with the bone.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
If you wanted to mention that to your doctor, you could say, preliminary studies have indicated it enhances bone growth, but the full clinicals are still in process. He'll be delighted to hear that.
Thank you, Gregory. That's a good way to put it.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Awesome.
And I know Rita has had her hand up and down, but her computer's having spasms, so her hand keeps going down. But you know, Karen, maybe we could let Rita.
So Rita, why don't you come
Rita
in and then we'll
Rosie.
go with Ann.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. So I've got an interesting success story. I turned 80 this year and decided as part of my celebration, I would run a marathon. And I was walking. We had a very icy winter in Maine. I had a very abrupt connection with Mother Earth on my butt, banged my head, and had a lot of symptoms. So I've continued to use the X39 and all of the other products that I'm using. But I watched David's program last Wednesday and learned the trick of ice wave on my feet, ice wave on my elbows. So I ran over the weekend a bit. Typically that would have triggered pain for me. Guess what? I happily ran the whole way.
Woo! That is awesome. Love it. And thank you, Rita. Sorry about that. I had seen your hand up once and I did see it go away.
It's the magic of electronics, right?
I know,
Thanks.
right? Right. And
Thank you all.
you bet. Thank you, Rita. Thanks for sharing. Ann, you're up.
Whoops. Heidi, I'm in the car. I just left the doctor's office. So I just wanted to share that I've been working on my blood pressure for some time. And wonderful that today it was 115/64, which is really nice. So she was pretty happy about it. But what I wanted to share, I ended up patching her while I was here because she was having some hip pain and she tweaked her back. So I patched her and it reminded me of what had happened to me about 2-3 weeks ago, where I had also tweaked my hip and my back, and I had put the X39 in the, not the X39, the Ice Wave, the tan on that painful area. And I had used the white one right on the 3 o'clock position where I seemed to get some relief. And then I used Eon on top of the tan, and it was better, but not fully better. So then I was thinking of, we often hear about the energy enhancers, right, from our acupuncturists who often talked about it. So I put the energy enhancers under my feet, kidney 1, tan on the left, white on the right, and instantly gone. It was like, wow, you don't think of moving energy first, then allows the Ice Wave and the Eon to work even better. So I just wanted to share that story.
Thank you. And that was really well put. I hope you guys bring pencil and paper to these and take notes because we learned so much from each other. So thank you, Ann. And the next hand I see is Allie. And then Julianne.
Hi. I've been using Dr. Karen's protocol for vision and eyes, and I still need some help. I'm not having great results with the vision yet, but my skin is amazing because of all the things that I'm using on a sleep mask at night. I wanted to share that.
Awesome. That's wonderful. Love it.
So
Thank you.
If anyone has recommendations for vision, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, and go in and check all the testimonies too in Vibrant Living and Live Younger, because you might find I think you'll find a lot of stuff in there. So that's a great resource.
I didn't find actual patches in there, just said
For that. Yeah. Okay, well, you looked anyway. Good for you.
So what
Thank you so
patches are
much,
you
Allie.
using? There's someone with a question in the chat. What patches are you using for your vision at night? You're
Don't
muted.
forget to
Bonnie.
unmute, Allie. Unmute again.
Okay, it's Dr. Karen's. I drew a picture of how she recommended it. It was the Ice Wave, the tan on the eye that seems to be giving you the most trouble, and the white on the other. And then back them, it's carnosine, Alavida, and X39.
Wow.
And those go right up here, or they can go like this or like this, but she has a video and she has all kinds of patching protocols, and that's one of them.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thank you.
Where is the video? of all the different places to put them.
Dr. Karen Khan, just look on YouTube. She has healthy habits. She has patching protocols. If you look her up, you'll just.
Yeah, go do a search on her.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Okay, Julianne.
Hello, good morning. I have a question, and I'm trying to figure out how to word this so it's appropriate.
Thank you.
My cat is having urinary issues and spotting, and I want to know what patches. I've been putting X39 on, and we have an appointment to the vet, but it's not until Friday. So I'm just wondering what, and she's been spayed. So
I don't know.
I didn't know if
Anybody?
glutathione would be something I could put on there.
Well,
On her
glutathione's always
collar.
good, but I just don't know. I don't know how to. I have no idea.
Okay.
I think the ones you're using sound good. Robin has something.
Is it an older cat?
She is 4 years old.
Oh, she's young. Okay, because
Yeah.
older cats get urinary challenges, and we used X39 and glutathione, and it worked really well. So you might
Okay.
want to try it and see.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will.
Okay, well, I don't see any more hands up. Do you, Gregory? I don't see any more. And who else would like to bless the community with their story? Oh, I've got some hands. Jennifer, then Helen, or Tim. Well, Helen. I just see Helen's name. I mean,
I just have
Jennifer.
a quick, fun little thing that came in. One of our team members shared with her brother and sister-in-law Ice Wave and Eon for some discomfort. And they came back to her and they said, well, even though we believe this is a bunch of hooey, it really works. So we'd like to order some. It's just even the non-believers, sometimes it just works when it works, right?
It does. Hey, I'm going to piggyback on that a little bit. My older daughter, when I first started doing this, she told my other daughter, I'm never going to put those silly looking patches on. And then her husband, who was around my age, he hurt his back, and my other daughter gave him some X39s. Overnight, he slept better, had better focus. He calls me up, where's my patches? Even though I'm not the one that gave it to him, he called me up. So they are now my best customers. and she had an accident, and I went over and patched her. This has been a long time ago, but she was never going to do it. So sometimes your skeptics become your best believers, because none of us really believe it's going to work when we first start, because it's never been we've never had something like this before. So it's hard to believe it until you experience it. And then you realize, holy cow, it's way better than I ever thought it could be. So thank you, Jennifer. Helen.
Hello. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Usually when we think about pain, it seems like most of the stories, and I know in myself, it's muscle pain that we address. And I had an experience last week. I flew back from Minnesota, and I, for a change, watched movies on the plane, so which meant I had earplugs plugged into my ears, and it intensified the pressure inside the ears to the point that I got a really bad earache, pain in my right ear. And I got home, and it was just as bad. It didn't get any better once I got home on the ground. And finally I said, well, duh, just stick an Eon on it and see what happens. So I put an Eon right in front of my ear, and within minutes, the pain was reduced to almost nothing. And within 20 minutes, it was completely gone. So it worked for a different kind of pain in my mind.
Awesome. That's wonderful. And I'm hearing some background noise. If you are not talking, please make sure you're muted. Thank you. All right, we've got lots of hands up, so we're going to move along. Thank you so much, Helen. That is awesome. All right, let's go to Barb, then Heidi, then Darlene, and then we've got more. So that's exciting.
Good morning. I just have a question. What was the placement of X49 for the bone health?
I think it's like about 4 finger folds. Is it below your knee on the right? Yeah, about 4 finger widths below your knee. I'm touching mine like you can see that. Anyway, anyway, yeah, right down there on your leg, your outer right leg.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for asking. Heidi.
Good morning. Good morning. I just have a testimonial on the collagen factor, I guess is what I'm going to call it. I've been wearing the X39 patch since February 22nd, and I'm a new user of the patch, and I specifically wore it for the first probably 14 days on a scar. And I cannot show you the scar, and I cannot even talk about where the placement is, but can I tell you, I took before and after pictures, and if I could put those up and show, I'm amazed. So the scar is about as big as the patch. And so I kind of specifically thought, okay, I'm gonna test out. I have pretty nice looking skin in my opinion. So I'm noticing it in 3 places, one on the scar, and I am a motorcyclist. And so I noticed that I don't have as many bumps and bruises on my calves from just, riding rough, I guess you could say. And then I also am noticing that I am not wearing as much makeup and around the little lines that come around here. And I kind of just love that. So for those 3 reasons, I love the collagen factor.
Awesome. I love that. And you know what? You don't even have to put it on the scar. I was just wearing them normally, and I realized one day I had a great big scar on my arm in here, and oh my gosh, it's like down to almost nothing. And I'd had that for 20 years. So thank you, Heidi, for mentioning that. You guys, if you have scars and you're just starting, take pictures. Awesome. Thank you. Hey, Darlene, come on in.
Hi, yesterday afternoon, I saw one of my new preferred customers. She had gotten her patches and started wearing them on Tuesday. And she said within 3 hours, my constant back pain was almost completely gone. And she said by the end of the day, it was gone. And she works really long hours, sometimes 14 hours a day. And she said that coworkers were saying, "What are you doing? You have so much more energy. You look so much happier. You're smiling all the time." And she said, I was very skeptical about the patches. I wasn't going to tell anyone I was wearing them, what they were. But she said all these people were noticing things, so I had to start talking about it. And she said last night was the first night that I slept through the night and didn't wake up in pain or having to go to the bathroom. She said, I can't even remember the last time I had a complete night's sleep. So she was super excited, and she said, I have a coworker, you've got to go talk to him now.
Wow. Well, the proof is in the pudding, isn't it? That's awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. And John, and then Angela. And then we don't have any more hands up yet.
Okay, so I went back to the gym 7 weeks ago, and it's been a total of 18 days I've been in the gym in those 7 weeks. And I typically do Bill Phillips. I've followed his book, Body for Life. So I do all dumbbell work, but I have never progressed like I have progressed. I'm going up 5 to 10 pounds a week. I'm up to 45 pounds on dumbbell for chest presses. And I wear X39, I wear X49. So I will tell you, they have I'm embarrassed to say this, but they have one of those 360-degree body scan machines. Before I entered the gym, I went in there, My chest, my hips, and my waist were the same measurement. So
Wow.
but it is no longer, and it measures your biceps, it measures everything. So it's a cool machine. And I'm just really thrilled with the X49 combo and X39.
That is awesome. Awesome. Thank you, John. Yeah, that's one of the things I'm the most excited about right now as I'm starting to do more workouts and things like that. Get that strength going.
And could I add one comment on the
Sure.
lady that was on bone growth?
Yes.
So I read a study. My wife had deterioration of the ankles and had to wear ankle braces for the longest time because she would fall. They would just give away from her autoimmune. So I read this research, and the K2 with high elevations of vitamin D3, we slowly worked her up to 50,000 IUs per day. She no longer wears her braces. She did have to have 3 screws put in an old fracture from one of those falls. And it took the doctor, he had to stop his drill 4 times because her bones were so dense.
Wow.
So anyway, it does work. There is that research out there. It does name a disease state, so I won't post it, but vitamin D3 and K2 is vital for vitamin D3.
And David always says, well, and Dr. Nicholas always says too, everything that you're doing, whether it's taking vitamins or chiropractic treatment or whatever, everything you're doing to make yourself better works better when you're using the patches. It's all enhanced and all goes better. So that makes total sense. Cool. All right. So let's move on to Angela. Thank you, John.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I have a question. If somebody has prostate issues and they just recently wound up having to have surgery for a gallbladder, not a gallbladder, sorry. Anyway, they just recently had to have some surgery, and not for the prostate, but they were wondering what they could do to help take the size of the prostate down.
I'll open that up to the community. Anybody have any suggestion?
Yes, I do. This is Margaret in Texas again.
Hi, Margaret.
Hey, listen, as far as the prostate, I would suggest below the belly button, put an X39, and below the X39, you put an X49. If there's any pain, you add the ice waves and put those beside the X49 or right below it together, and that should help. And also about the lady with the cat and the blood and the pain, I had a male cat that had that problem continually, even when I first got him when he was younger. I would suggest until she gets that cat to the vet, number one, make sure that all the cat wet food and dry food has no fish in it. That cat cannot have fish. I would think it probably has bladder stones and kidney stones from the fish. Number two, I would suggest that she uses the X39, X49, Ice Wave, and Eon all together on that cat to take some of that pain away until she can get that cat on antibiotics. It'll probably have to go in the hospital for about a week because they have to wash out that poor cat's little bladder and kidneys. And that's all I have to say.
Margaret, you sound like you have some good information. And you know what? You brought up a point that I want to, we're not trying to take place of your doctors. We still need doctors for lots of different things. And so that's great. I'm glad you mentioned about definitely go to the vet. That's great. Okay, I hope that helped. And then Christy's next. Oh, did you have something else, Margaret?
Did you have anybody?
Yeah, Angela, it's
Mhm.
Robin.
Okay.
What Dr. Nicholas What Dr. Nicholas used to recommend for that situation is to stack ion and glutathione on the outside of the underwear surrounding the prostate, and has had
So-
really good results.
So 1 eon and 1 glutathione.
In 3 different places surrounding the prostate.
On outside of underwear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It goes through the underwear.
Easily.
Yeah, no problem putting it on
Okay,
on
so
clothes. Yeah.
Aeon and glutathione on outside of the underwear, and then probably in
places
X39.
surrounding the prostate. Mm-hmm.
So you'd use more than one of each patch then, Robin?
Yes.
Like 2, 3?
Well, this is what Dr. Nicholas recommended with some great results, is 1 eon and 1 glutathione stacked in 3 different places, so 3 patches each surrounding the prostate on the outside of the underwear.
Okay, got it.
How
Stacked in
long?
3 places.
How long till they started noticing a difference? Do you know?
They had, I don't know if this is a PSA, elevated number or not, but in a few weeks they had dramatic results.
Okay.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks,
You could
Robin.
wear it 12 hours, Angela. With that many patches, you could probably wear it 12 hours on, 12 hours off, and I'd wear it 2 days in a row. I'd stretch it to get 2 days out of the patches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good idea. Great idea.
Okay.
Okay, well, it looks like we have Christy Grace with her hand up, and we really are out of time. So Christy, let's go with you, and then we'll turn it over to Gregory and Robin, or probably Gregory.
Probably
Remember
Robin.
to unmute, Christy, and everybody else who's been talking, go ahead and mute back and put your hands down, please. Christy, are you there?
She posted in the chat that her mic won't unmute for some reason.
Oh,
But she posted a question about hair loss.
okay.
Do you want me to read? Oh, she wrote the diagnosis. Okay, well, it's okay, Christy. We try to stay away from diagnoses, but that's interesting because it's not like a hair loss from that virus that's been going around. Does anyone have any thoughts on hair loss? I know X39 is always the granddaddy of them all, and there's been some anecdotal evidence about X49 helping with hair loss. Does
Looks
anyone
like
else?
Robin has something.
Yeah, I have someone with that condition that has had some very good results with X39, but I would add X49 too, because they both, when you have the hair follicles stimulated, hair growth happens. So I would do X39 and 49 in any of the standard places.
Perfect. Thank
I-
you.
I can quick share my testimony.
Okay.
I am
Early.
the most faithful with X39. I use the other patches occasionally, but X39 faithfully. And I used to, every time I showered, I've had a big clump of hair in the drain. I mean, not huge, but I didn't like it. And after using X39 for several months now, I don't have any hair most of the time in the shower drain. And my hair is as thick as when I was on prenatal vitamins.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Okay, and Liz put her hand up. Do we have time, Gregory, or do we need to move on?
Oh, yeah. Go
Can we
ahead.
give Liz? Come on in, Liz.
Hi, this is Liz. My comment on the hair is that I'm pretty sure David spoke about that when he was introducing the X49 at the convention. I recently added in that video into 2 different segments in the Live Younger Success, and it's under the product info under the X49 section. So, and it's also added into the library section, and I believe that got added in under the David Schmidt video section. So the Live Younger Success is a great resource for a lot of questions. There's also a search mechanism. I don't believe it searches the videos, but it might, because it's a pretty smart search mechanism. But anyway, thank you, Gregory, for moving that whole project forward. And there's a lot of good stuff in there.
Thank you, Liz. And I didn't realize it was you, Liz. Awesome.
Thanks, Karen.
Good to see you. Kind to see you. Hear you, I guess. Okay, so Myrna's got her hand up, and let's go real quick. We are out of time. I want to respect everyone's time, but it's also hard to leave.
Hi, yes, thank you. Just a quick regarding the hair loss. In July of last year, I had the virus, and because of that, I had like big hair loss. And then I started using the X39 initially, and then X49 added it in November. And it's been 2 months already that I don't have any hair loss at all, like in the shower. So I believe it's with the X39 and X49.
Fabulous. Thank you, Myrna. Thank you. Wonderful. You guys, this has been a great morning. I'm going to turn it over to Gregory because I'm sure he has some announcements about tonight's call. And you guys have a blessed week. Have a wonderful time sharing and helping others with the patches and yourselves, and just have a wonderful and happy Easter that's coming up too.
Great. Well, I'm going to start. I'll let Robin comment first. She's got a couple of things to say about tonight's call, I think.
Okay, well, hi, everybody. Yes, tonight we have Kai Jacobson back by popular demand. We're going to actually talk about, when is it appropriate to do a business focus and when is it a product focus, and looking for leaders. So that's Kai's going to cover that tonight. And then tomorrow night we have Dr. Jeff Hubbard on. And then, normally it was Dr. Tom, but they switched. So Dr. Jeff is on tomorrow night. And then we also have a new director, and her name is Michelle, and she's in Barb Larrabee's group. So we have that also. Anything else, honey?
Yeah, I just want to say briefly that I think Judy Daniels is going to join us briefly this evening to talk about nitty-gritty basics, which has now been modified to be a customer focus. So we'll do a brief review of that. So now we have a place where we can send our customers, and now we have Live Younger Success for our distributors. So Judy will join us this evening to talk about that. And that's it. So we'll see you on the call tonight, folks. So if everyone wants to unmute and say goodbye, this would be a good time to do that.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Have a great day, everyone.
Great job,
everybody.
Karen.
Great week, everybody.
God bless.
God bless.